Now let's try this again. Okay, I'm powering up Unreal Engine. So, I just figured out my damn solution to this fucking problem. Okay, lower this down a little bit. Still launching. That fucking child, I swear. Damn, what fucking iTunes is still fucking launching. I wanna know why it's not letting me. The window capture ain't letting me. Try window capture. See if it's gonna. So it's not. Come on. Alright, there we go. Game capture properties. There we go. Is it showing up on that? There we go. Alright, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. And the project we did before it ain't showing up, so we gotta start a whole new damn project. It was a third person blueprint template. In 1.0. Create the project. We gotta restart from scratch all over again. Because the one we did in the past, it's on my other computer that's no longer working. So we have to do it from scratch again. So, fuck. Thing called the crocodile rock. Before it load up again. It's at 52%. So I'm gonna go out to display capture. Let you all see what's going on. La 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 la. And the version of the Unreal Editor I'm using is 4.17.2. I'm gonna upgrade the project and newer version later. Ay, 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 ay. As for now, we're gonna stick with 4.17.2. CZ Walls, just as tight in. Yay, 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 yay. 2 more percent and we'll be launching Unreal Engine 4. We're gonna do a quick little intermission. I'll be right back. And we're back from the intermission. Thank you for all tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. If you're new here, please subscribe with the notification bell. Click for gaming, tutorials, and more. As you can see what's going across. I'm also doing early access to videos. If you want early access, join the official Discord server. or join me on Patreon. Get If you decide to join me on Patreon, you get exclusive benefits that no other YouTubers can compete against. So we're in a brand new clean project. So basically I'm gonna be covering is how to modify the first person controller, the third person character, why is it not showing? There we go. I'm going to show you how to modify the third person character, how to set up some flashlight, how to do some simple AI, and we go further from there. Why is it not capturing the fucking... That's not what I want. God, this is getting ridiculous. Let's try to do a window capture. Yep, window capture. Alright, there we go. So, let's get right into it. Let's see. We might create some folders like for UI, music, sound effects, much more with our assets. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna modify the third person character first. So with our blueprints folder, third person character, you're gonna open that up. And the third person game mode, touch tab, we're gonna get that later on throughout the series. I'm showing you the basics of the third person character, was accessing everything we create in this tutorial series is basically blueprints. We're not doing no C++. So once you get this window, just drag it on top of this. You see there's different blueprint codes for the basic that's already implemented. The one we're gonna get rid of that we don't need is the VR code to reset VR, because we're not doing nothing in the series is VR related. Because I don't own a VR headset, so we can go ahead and delete that code, that piece of that code, and hit compile to modify this change. Unless you got VR headset, you can keep it. But for this series, we're not doing no VR related stuff. Alright, we're gonna hit compile to save the changes, and hit save. So I recognize that we're not doing no VR related shit. Okay, so we're going to create some couple variables that we want the player's stamina. This is going to be set to a float, and we're going to compile this to confirm the and this is going to be player oh or this is going to be flashlight. Set this to an integer. No, both of these got to be set to an integer, not floats. Compile to save the changes. This is going to be set to 100. This is going to be set to 100. Compile that again and save. So we can save those two variables, and we need to create another variable. Your name is flashlight on, and this is going to be set to a boolean. By default, it's going to be false. And we can create another variable is sprinting, and that will be set to a boolean as well. Compile, save. So we got 4 basic variables. We're going to go for another intermission real quick, and we'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Alright, so now we're going to create another variable. This, no. Alright, I'm gonna right click in our blank space and blank space. We're gonna create an event tick and drag out to sequence. We need a sequence node. We're gonna flip flop. I believe that's what it is. Still working on getting this image popped up. To see what the hell I'm doing. Oh, god damn. Come on. I got the wrong fucking image. Get the right image popped up so I got references. Oh, it's a branch. Okay, let's see what it is. Okay, delete the sequence node. We don't need that yet. From event tick, we want a branch. This is telling us that we need to check to see the player's stamina. So we're gonna move this up a little bit. And we get a reference to sprinting on is sprinting. Want to get a reference to is sprinting, hook it up to condition. It's gonna check whether or not the player is sprinting or not. So make sure your variable is sprinting is a boolean and the default value is false. On true and false, we need a couple of delays. So type in drag it out, execution pin from true, drag it, type delay, Control C and Control V on your keyboard to duplicate the delay. Hook it to true and false because we need a couple of delays for this check. And the duration is going to be the way we have it, the way it is. And for the true side of things, is we need to have another branch because it's going to check the player's stamina, see if we're taken away from player stamina or not. So we're gonna get rid of that details panel. So drag these down, and from condition, want integer. Shit. Want to make sure integer is less than or equal to what we're trying to get. So get player stamina, drag it to the top. It's greater than 0. If it is true, we need to set its sprinting. So get your its sprinting variable, hit it to set, and hook up to true. Then we need to set the character max walk speed. So we need to get a reference to character movement. So from your components panel, scroll down to see character movement, inherited. We want the set max walk speed. Default is at 600. We can double it to. So we're gonna set the max walk speed to 600. If it's true, if it's not true, we need to set the player stamina. Player stamina, and we need to connect, and we need to put false. We're gonna do integer minus integer. We're taking 1 from on the player stamina, so we're gonna hook this up to top, and it's gonna take the player stamina, take away 1 from it. Then we need to drag out for an execution pin. For testing purposes, we're going to do a print string and hook it up from there. Do some simple testing. Then we're going to compile that and save it. The print string is just for testing purposes. We're going to remove that later on. Right now we want to test to see whether or not the player is sprinting or not. So we need to do a basic HUD. So we need to go to third person VP. We need to create a folder. Right click, new folder. We're going to call this UI. And in our UI folder, we're going to create a widget. I'm going to right click again. I'm going to scroll down to see user interface. I'm going to click widget blueprint. We're going to call this player UI or player hub, whatever you want to call it. Then we're going to open that UI widget. And that UI widget, we need to drag a text box to the top. We're going to anchor this to the top right corner. I'm going to call this player sprint UI. That's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call this stamina, and I'm gonna increase it to like 30 or 42. Is it really raining? Let's try 55. And we're gonna, for the justification, we're gonna line it center. For the outline, 1.0. I'm gonna show you how to import fonts later on in the series. And I'm gonna compile that. Now for the player sprint to go up and down, we need a progress bar. So from the palette, drag out the progress bar, scroll down till you see progress bar, and I'm gonna make it a reasonable size. I'll say like about that. I'm gonna call this sprint bar UI, and I'm gonna anchor this to top left hand corner. If you leave it by default like that, it's gonna be right in dead center. Anchoring is important in this. It's not like Unreal Unity, and we want to go to style. I want to fill it with yellow or red. A decent color red. Margin set to 0. Then we're gonna ref code in one. I want to save this. Go tint like that. Same settings. But this is gonna be Control Z to undo. For this, I want it to be like 0 or 0.25. We'll experiment. So let's see. Where's this progress? You can scroll up and down. Wait a minute. Oh, I didn't flip flop it. This should be set to 1. The background should have been like 0.25. So this one we want to set this to 1. The fill color should be to the center. Now let's see. You can mess around with the colors if you want to. It's your game. I'm not telling you how to make it mine, but I'm just showing you can experiment with different colors. Then we're gonna create a binding. First, let's get this shown on the screen. Oh, for this, you need to keep everything organized when putting some code in the third third person character, left click and drag. Left click and drag. Highlight the code that you did for the player's sprint. We're gonna comment. So we're gonna easy recognize. And we haven't finished coding the player's stamina, so we're gonna finish that now before we get right to putting the UI or the player HUD into this. If it's alright, and if it's false, we're gonna do the opposite. So we're gonna do all this but opposite. So from completed, from delay on the false side, we want to want to add another branch. So drag out branch. So we're gonna create another branch, and for the condition integer, it's gonna be less than 0. Then get a reference to player stamina. Get player stamina. Hook it up to the top. Oh, it's gonna be greater. It's gonna be less than 100. Sorry, not 0. Alright, once you got that hooked up, for the true, we're going to strictly to true. Now we're going to set the player's stamina. So we're going to click on the player's stamina from the top, Control C and Control V, and we're going to hook it up to true. Okay, copy and Control V to copy the player stamina variable from player stamina. We want integer plus integer. There we go. And we got the right one. Hook it up to A. And it's going to add stamina, so the player has more stamina. But I'll show you guys how to get it to actually work. After we get done with this, then we're going to do another print. Then we're going to do another print string. Compile this. Save. So now we got the code for the player sprint all coded. If you don't want the print strings, if it's working right, if you don't want print strings, you can go ahead, come back to third person character, and just simply, if this, I'm gonna show you guys how to disable the autosave. So I have to go through all the frustration. Simply just left click and drag on the print string and just hit delete on your keyboard. It'll get rid of it. For me, I'm gonna leave it. For testing purposes, compile and save. So now we got all that coded in. Now we need to bring the HUD into the player. So find some empty space again. Right click and add an event. We're gonna do an on begin play event. We're gonna get third person character, cost to the third person character, get player, not controller, we want the character. We want player character. From here you want to add create a widget. Oh no, it's not cast to third person character. Never mind. then begin play, you want to create a widget. Then select the class, you want player UI, the one we just created, and from return value, just click it out and add. Just type in add to viewport. Left click and drag, hit C on keyboard, put a comment. We're gonna put this as player UI for user interface. So now that should be shown on the screen once we compile this and save. So now we got that coded in, shown on the player screen. Now let's look. Now if we hit play, I'll show you guys how to use cinematics. Like, hey Aaron, it's gonna take a minute. Press play. Oh, you know what? I didn't. We're gonna do this after we test it out. So now it's on our screen. All right. The reason why it's not sprinting because we didn't put the code didn't set our inputs. So on the way to access our inputs is go to Edit, Project Settings. I'm also going to show you how to disable the autosave. How you doing today, Aaron? Then we want to go to Engine, Input, Action, where it says Bindings, we want to go to Action Mappings. There's Jump and Reset VR. We're going to remove that mapping. We're going to add another action mapping. We're going to call this one Sprint. And where it says None, we're going to I'm going to type in Shift, and we're going to use the left Shift, and that should be saved. And for the autosave, we need to go to I think it's intermission real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, I just realized I made a mistake. The auto saving, we need to go to editor preferences. That's where we need to go. I just figured that out. Once you go there, once you're in the editor preferences, scroll down until you see saving and loading. Where it says autosave, enable autosave, we're gonna untick that. So it doesn't give a message autosaving in this many seconds. So if we disable that, it won't show that message again. So we can exit out of that tab. Now if we can play this again, first let's save everything. Save selected. We need to make sure every time you go and make changes, make sure you hit that save all button. Always, you're going to suffer the consequences. If it crashes, it's going to lose everything. It's important to save it. Alright, now if we can hit play again, when we import our input, it should work. Oh, you know why? We never inputted it. Um, hmm. I'll figure out why it's not spinning like we want to. Alright, now we're going back to our player UI HUD. Where our progress is? We're gonna go to binding, create a binding, because we're gonna make this work. We're gonna drag this out. I'm gonna cast to third-person character. The object card will be get player character. As the third-person character, we want to get player stamina, because that's the target we're going for. Then we can drag this up. It's gonna convert it to a float. Just hook it right there. Compile. Let's see if this is actually working. Save everything. Now let's hit play. Okay, it's not working. Let's see. let's do a 2-second delay. Gonna do a little intermission. Be right back. Okay, we need to go back to our third-person character, which we're in right now. We gotta set the input action. Input sprint. It's not event tick. Let's see if I can hook this one up. Hold that and save. So event tick, we want input action sprint. Hook it up to the branch and compile and save. Now let's see if this works now. So right here. Sprint. Branch. Right then, equal to player stamina. Take that, and we need to set player stamina. Integer. set that. Give reference from character movement. Set next walk speed. So that one will be 600. Double this to 1200. Control C, Control V. C. Compile. Save. Alright, that should be the correct one. Let's see. Condition greater than or equal to 0. It's not 0, it's supposed to be greater than 1. Compile and save. Then true, set is sprinting, take that one. And set max walk speed, get a reference to character movement, set that to 1200. On the false, set sprinting to off. And copy the character movement, set max walk speed, and copy paste it to the false, and set it to 600. Now that should work. Now let's play again. Hold on. Let's go back and player HUD, set this to 1 second. There we go. Alright. Now let's try it again. Alright, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. Follow it again. Save this again. Now let's play this again. Okay, so it's not. Alright, and this is where now we add the sequence node. Break link. This will go to dem 1. Fantastic. Now this is where the sequence node comes in. Now we create a player stamina or player hunger. So we need to create another variable. Call this player health. It's not going to be boolean. It's going to be set to an integer. And compile that variable. It says 100. She got her electric boots from Morrison. I think I gotta flip this one. I think I gotta flip that one. That's why it's not going back up. Let's see if that works that time. Play. Pretty sure I was right on that one. Pretty sure it's that way. Let's try one. Compile. Play. Okay, so it's counting down, but the bar's not going down with it. Something to my calculations is not correct. You know what? That's what the problem was. I had to go back to my references. Okay, so back here, we're gonna do float divided by float. Now we can look this up. Compile that now. Save. I forgot we had to do a little division. A little mathematics. Now we can set this back to 0. Compile. And save. Now let's try playing this again. There goes our stamina bar. It's going down. Now we got a working stamina bar. It goes down but never goes back up. Okay. It's not the UI, it's the player. Third person character. Something in this code is not working right. Greater than or equal to we'll fix this. I'll make a video on how to fix this. Let's just get the player hunger out of the way. Just sing this. I'm gonna have to go back through my fucking videos. And we're not gonna mess around with the third person character much. We're gonna follow this and I'll do this in another video. So we got the UI. Now we're gonna do some simple AI. So we're gonna, in order to have us a working AI, first we're gonna put a nav mesh volume. So we're gonna go to our modes, go to volumes, scroll down till you see nav mesh bounds volume. Just drag and drop. We're gonna set this to 100 by 100 by 100. Or we're gonna do 50 by 50 by 50. Let's do 20 by 20 by 20. 10 by 10 by 10. Times 0 or 1 5. I'm gonna do like 8. We're gonna do 8 by 8, 8 by 8 by 5, and we're gonna press P. It's gonna show you. Press P on the keyboard. It's gonna show you where the AI can walk on and where it can't. Now we're gonna duplicate our third person character. We're gonna right click. We're gonna duplicate this. We're gonna call this AI. And we're gonna delete this one because should delete automatically because it's only a duplicate. if you can get the reference images for player stamina, AI, and others through my game dev website in the description, or what it's also scrolling across the screen. You can download those reference images for free, so you can see what I'm talking about. But those are going to be updated. So, third person character, we're going to Control W, duplicate. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Delete. Third person character. Control W on the keyboard. AI. Enter. To finish renaming. AI for short. AI is short for artificial intelligence. But we're going to do AI through Blueprint. And we're going to check him in here. And he's going to lose the camera because we don't need the camera on him. Delete the camera. Whoops, that deleted the character. So we need to go to in our AI character. We're going to delete the camera. We're going to delete the blueprint code that we did for third person, because if you duplicate the third person character, it's going to contain the camera and all of the code we have. So we don't want to do that. So in our event graph, we're going to delete every single line of code. Left click and drag all of them and hit delete. So it won't have no functionality like third person character. For Unreal Engine to work with me. Come on, Unreal Engine! Come on! Jesus Christ, come the fuck on! Come on. Jesus Christ. Come on, you fucking Unreal Engine. Come on. Fucking God. Talking about Talking about fast encoding preset. Not giving me no fucking problems right now. Now we're gonna delete this camera. We're gonna delete the camera. Because it doesn't need that. And we're gonna get rid of the camera boom. Because we don't need that either. Now we can compile this. Save our changes. And we're gonna delete the variables that the AI has as well. Save it. There. From player health to player stamina, or all these variables. Each one of these variables is getting deleted. And we only need 2 variables. And those 2 variables for the AI we're gonna have only two variables. Make sure you delete make sure the event graph has all that blueprint code deleted. Also delete the camera and the camera boom, and delete all the variables because we'll only need 2 variables for the AI to work. And those 2 variables will be in range or is in range. And that's going to be a boolean. We're going to compile that one first. It's going to tell reason we name it is in range because it's going to tell whether or not if the player's in range for the character to follow or attack, whatever the case may be. So that's why it's a boolean, it's set to false. And the last variable is going to be is player range. And this is going to be set to a float. Because it's not going to be a boolean, it's going to be a float. It's going to tell whether or not the player is within a specific range or tells it with the range, whatever. Then we're going to compile that one. We're going to let the default value be 0, and we're going to save those variables. Those are the only two variables that we need for the AI. Then we're going to go to the event graph, and we're going to cut out the AI. Make sure this is empty. So we're going to right click. So make sure you have player range. Player range should be a float, and isIn range should be a boolean, and set the default. Set to false. So once you got those two variables, make sure to compile and save. So we can start coding the AI. I'm gonna go out to the AI today, and I get set for the next live stream. So I don't want to waste y'all's time, because I gotta do other stuff too. And we're probably gonna do the player flashlight in the next video. So make sure to check out the playlist to be updated, because when I upload a new Unreal Engine 4 or Unity tutorial, it's gonna be one of those videos will be going into those playlists. Alrighty, so now we're ready to, once you got everything set up the way you wanted, we're gonna start do some coding. So here we go. We're gonna right click in our blank space. We need an event tick. From the execution pin, we want simple move to actor. Then we want to get, for the controller, we want to get AI or get controller, and we want to reference it to self. Get reference to self. So the controller is get palm controller, and reference it to self. Then for the goal is get player character. That's the goal we want, because that's the goal. We want to get it to the player character. Then from the execution pin, we're gonna drag it out, and then we're gonna do a branch. It's gonna check whether or not the player is in range or not. So we're gonna get a reference to is in range, hook it up to condition, because it's gonna check whether or not if the player is in range or not. If it's true, we're gonna set player range, or set is in range. Set is in range. If it's true, it's gonna be ticked. Control C, Control V that, paste it. If it's false, we're gonna untick that. So if it is in range, If it's in range, it's true, and it's going to follow the player. If not, it's not going to chase the player. Now, oh no, it's not. It's in range. We can delete that because we're gonna do something else. We're gonna do integer. It's less than or equal to. So this is where it comes to this point. Now we need to from get player character, drag it out. We want to get distance 2, and our other actor will be referenced to self. It's going to self. So the target to get distance to is the player character, and the other actor itself. Actually, the target itself. So we're going to link to that. The other actor should be the player controller, and the target itself. Ignore the previous one I just said. And so the target itself, the other actors get player character. And now, this is where it gets more interesting. So we get distance 2. Drag out return value. We want to type in this. We want to do that. We want to get that. Then you want to hook it up to A. Then you want to take this, Control V, you want to paste that, connect it with B. Then you want to get the player range. You want to set that. No, we want to get player range. Get player range, and just hook it up to there. Then we can compile this and save. So it's going to check whether or not if the player is in the range or not. So if it is true, it's gonna follow it. If it's not in range, it's not gonna do it. So now we're gonna put a comment on this and put AI. Then compile again and say once more. That's all the code you need for this. And now we're gonna test this. You can add multiple AIs in your level if you want. So it's completely optional. So what I want to do is get the player out of the rain, out of the green area. And I want to rotate at 90 degrees on the, whoops, on the edge to 90, or 180, negative 90, there we go, negative 90 on, -90 on the Z. Alright, we're gonna save all now. And right before we test this, we need to add a light mass volume. So once this is finished saving this, we're gonna test it right after we put the light mass volume on. There we go. Now we need to add a light mass volume, just drag and drop it in. Light mass importance volume. And then we're gonna, you know what, we're gonna do that after. So we're gonna delete that for now. And right before I end the stream, we're gonna add it in. So now if we play now, there we go. Now if I go into the range, it comes right after us. Step out, it's out. See? Oh, you know what I didn't do? There was something else to the AI. When you go to viewport, go to components panel, we need to add a pawn sensing. Um, AI perception. The pawn sensing to it. Add pawn sensing, compile that. And now save. Now we play this. you should be able to follow us. There we go. We got a simple AI that is following us. Now we're gonna add porn's volume in here. We're gonna do 50 by 50 by 50. 50 by 50 by 50. Or we're gonna do 100 by 100 by 100. And we're gonna go to build. It's right here for build lighting only. And we're gonna build the lighting. Just make sure it doesn't give us a motion blur. Let's see how long I've been streaming. Alright. Make sure to get these free assets on the website, which is just reference images. I'm gonna find ways to make some assets for y'all to use in your games and post them to the website. So it's gonna build everything. It's gonna build the lighting, and we're gonna resave everything. Once it's done building the lighting, just hit the save all button. Let's see, I've been on here for almost 2 hours. I'm gonna get off of here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in a brand new live stream.